The Sundarbans, a vast forest located along the Bay of Bengal, is recognized as the world's largest mangrove forest, or saline woodland, and is one of nature's marvels, covering a total area of 10,000 square kilometers. This forest spans both Bangladesh and India, with approximately 6,017 square kilometers lying within Bangladesh. In 1997, UNESCO recognized the Sundarbans as a World Heritage Site, granting it special significance. Around 450 rivers, canals and streams flow through the forest, where salty seawater mixes with fresh water, creating a unique ecosystem. The Sundarbans gets its name from the Sundari trees found abundantly here. To enter the forest, visitors must travel by water, and the best time to visit is during winter, which is when we set out on our journey. Leaving behind the hustle and bustle of Dhaka, we set off towards Khulna. Upon arrival, it felt like stepping into an unknown expedition. Sailing on a tourist boat from Khulna, drifting along with the river's currents, felt like a soul-touching bond with the primordial beauty of nature. Passing by the murky waters of the Rupsa River, we saw villages and the lives of fishermen on both sides, eventually arriving at Mangrove port on the banks of the Pashur River. Our first destination in the Sundarbans was Harbaria. As we were to spend the night on our group's chartered boat, it anchored in a branch river near Harbaria, about 20 kilometers from Mongla. Our first sight was a watchtower. From this wooden tower, one can get a panoramic view of Harbaria. The watchtower, made of wood, can hold up to 6 people at a time. There's also a pond for fresh water, with seating arrangements around it for tourists. Passing the watchtower and dense nipa palm areas, we ventured into the thick mangrove forest. The main attraction here is the wooden trail winding through the forest, which must be replaced every year. This trail spanning through the forest takes only about 30 to 40 minutes to explore, but in the enchanting silence of the forest, even an hour feels brief. Walking along, we saw sturdy roots underneath the soil, forming a protective barrier around the trees. These protruding roots, called breathing roots, are a unique feature here. The forest is so dense and lush that sunlight barely penetrates in some places. The golden rays of the evening sun filtered through the tops of Guva, Goran, and Sundari trees. After our time here, it felt as though we were far from human civilization, immersed in the primal beauty of nature. Thoughts of Bibhutibhushan's novel Aranyak kept crossing my mind. We returned to the boat with tired bodies, ready for rest. The dense forest lined the banks on both sides of the river. With our boat anchored in the river's calm, evening arrived quietly, draping the surroundings in a soft mist. Night followed, with a full moon casting its light over the river and forest. We all gathered on the deck. Although my camera couldn't capture the breathtaking scenery, the inexplicable beauty of that moment will forever remain in my memory. Each spot in the Sundarbans has its unique charm, and Kotka added an extra thrill to the experience. Rising before dawn, we set off for Kotka in a small motorboat. In the dim light, some claim to have spotted the elusive tiger in the distance. I thought I saw something indistinct as well, though I wasn't sure if it was truly the tiger. But I decided to believe others' words. On the way to Kotka, we saw unknown plants, green fields and jujube trees grazed upon by deer. It seemed as though a skilled gardener had pruned the trees evenly. The vibrant greenery of nature in the morning light seemed unique to the Sundarbans. We walked for nearly an hour through forests of Sundari, Gewa, Goran and Kiora trees to reach the beach. Upon nearing the beach, we were greeted by white sand that looked like freshly fallen snow. Although the beach didn't captivate me as much due to the fog-limiting visibility, the quietness of Jamjamtala Beach brought a unique calmness. Walking barefoot on the sand felt like the entire beach was ours. The beach has two sections, one more overgrown with bushes and the other more open. The piled-up clay, washed-up roots of dead trees and serene landscape create a captivating beauty. Swimming here is strictly prohibited, as the waters are inhabited by crocodiles. Though we had hoped to spot the tiger and spotted deer, luck didn't favour us this time. We did encounter a few monkeys on the way back, who observed us curiously without any sign of fear. From Jamjamtala Beach, we travelled by motorboat to the Kotka Wildlife Sanctuary. We followed a footpath through various plants until we encountered a herd of deer. We stayed at a distance, as getting too close would only scare them away. My camera could capture them only after much zooming. The presence of water here indicated that the area floods during high tide. We also came across a rest house and a pond created by the forest department with crystal clear blue-green water. After Kotka, we stopped at Karamjal, a popular tourist site due to its accessibility within just 3 hours. The crocodile breeding centre here was indeed impressive. We also encountered monkeys, spotted deer and red crabs. Visitors can also view preserved peacock eggs, crocodile eggs and tiger paw prints in the custody of the authorities. After returning to the boat and finishing our meal, we headed to Nilkamal, also known as Hiron Point. The moment we arrived, we were greeted by the chirping of birds and a herd of spotted deer. The forest department has also built a rest house here. Observing the combined beauty of the river and forest, at Nilkamal felt as though nature was revealing its mysteries to us. Our journey ended at Dubla Island. where the waves of the Bay of Bengal crash upon the sandy shore. Situated 120 kilometers south of Mongla port, this isolated sandbar sits between the Kunga and Mura-Pashur rivers, covering an area of 81 square miles. Dubla Char comprises several places, including Aloko, Kokilmoni, Holdakali, Kobrakali, Majarkila, Ofiskila, Narikelbari, Choto Ambaria, Meher Ali's Char, and Shela Char. This island is particularly known for fishing and fish processing. Here, we spoke with local fishermen who build temporary shelters to catch and prepare fish for sale.
এই মামা এগুলো কি মাছের শুটকি? কি মাছ বললেন?
কোনডি?
এটা আপনি যেটা ধরেছেন?
এটা হচ্ছে করাতি মাছ।
করাতি। আর ওই ছোট এগুলো?
ওগুলো তেলো।
Most of our group bought dried fish, something I tend to avoid due to the smell. Every year in the Bengali month of Kartik, Dubla Char becomes famous for the Hindu festival of Ras Mela and the ritual sea bath. Although it's said that this festival has been taking place for 200 years, it is known to have been started in 1923 by Harbaria, a forest-dwelling devotee of Harichan Thakur. Thousands of pilgrims visit Dubla Char during the full moon of Rash Purnima to bathe in the sea. They set fruits afloat in the water at sunrise, with many foreign tourists also attending the 3-day festival. The evening on Dubla Char was enchanting. The river, dotted with boats and fishermen's lives bathed in the golden light of the late afternoon, was steeped in a serene allure. Such simplicity of nature can perhaps only be found in Bangladesh.